Good evening to all the participants at the second session of the Tibeto-Burman weekly talk series on languages of Northeast India. Today, our speaker is Dr. Pauthang Haokip, and he is an associate professor of the Center for Linguistics from JNU Delhi. He previously was also working as an assistant professor in Assam University Silchar from 2007 to 2015, and later on he worked at Nagaland University as an associate professor from 2015 to 16, and then in 2016 he joined JNU. And he has done a lot of significant works on Tibeto-Burman languages, especially for Kuki-Chin languages. And some of his most prominent publications are his book on Thado Kuki word book, a classified vocabulary, which was published in 2007, and also Sociolinguistics Situation in Northeast India, which was published in 2011. He also has a very significant number of publications in Himalayan linguistics, such as papers like word formation in Thado and negation in Thado, and also in LTBA, the languages of Manipur, a case study of Kuki-Chin languages, which was published in 2011. So today, our speaker is going to talk about some of the grammatical informations which can be found in the Kuki-Chin gloss text. His text is a collection of 4 languages, basically Thado, Kuki, and Saidiem, and Ranghol and Ranglong. And his main purpose to present this and also publish it to make it accessible for scholars and researchers on these languages of Northeast India for field research. So I would request our speaker to proceed with your presentation of the talk, that is some grammatical information of the Kuki-Chin gloss text. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Monali, for that introduction. So, without further ado, since we are all known to each other, I am going straight to my talks for today. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So, okay, now it is in the full mode of version. Okay. So the topic for my talk today is some grammatical information from the Kuki-Chin gloss text. Perhaps I thought we should start digging into our own text and see what are the grammatical information that we can get out of this text. So as Monali has already said, this talk will be based from 17 texts that I have collected from 3 Kuki-Chin languages of Barak Valley. Their names are Sairem, Ranghol, and Ranglong, and Thado, which is spoken in Manipur. So these were collected between 2012 to 2015, and currently the work is in its final shape, and it is with UNT Library for publication. Hopefully, once this is out, we can also have our own copy to read this text. So the price is only $5 dollars, not 5 rupees, $5 only. So we have made it in such a way that it is useful for all the Tibeto-Burmese and linguists in Northeast India in particular. So for this text analysis, what I have actually done is these texts are transcribed morpheme by morpheme. So I try to identify morpheme by morpheme. A majority of the texts come from Thado, and 3 from Sairem, and 5 from Sairem perhaps, and 3 from Ranghol, 4 from Ranghol, and then Ranglong I have collected only. I have provided only 2 texts. So these are fully analyzed, and below I have given the literal translation along with some sort of explanation wherever required. So the manner in which this text is arranged is that firstly we have a text code, and then on the left side we have text code, this text code, then we have name of the text. These are the name of the text that I have taken. And then these are on the right side, you see the names of languages. So we have Thado, and then we have Sairim, then we have Rangkhol, Ranglong. Actually, the languages are more, but for these talks, I've limited it only to these languages. So in terms of what we call metadata of the speakers, this is their initial. So PH stands for Pauthang. This gender is female. Location is from Manipur. Living in within Manipur, she lives in Lambung. And other languages spoken known to the speaker is Manipuri, and the age is given here. So similarly, we have SD stands for Sailor Dongar from Hablong and Sea Hills, and something like KS stands for Kupi Sairem from Barak Valley, and so on and so forth. This is how the metadata of the speakers are provided. Now we are here with the grammatical information. There can be lots of grammatical information, but for this presentation, I've limited it only to some major grammatical information or categories there can be observed in these languages. So first is, as we all know, is about case marking. So Kuki-Chin languages in particular, unlike other languages where we have optional case marking, Kuki-Chin languages are strictly what you call ergative or solutive languages. That means the subject of the intransitive verb and the object of the transitive verb are marked in the same way, whereas the subject of the transitive verb is marked differently. So this is consistent with most of the Kuki-Chin languages, and they are not optional; these are obligatory. And this is one feature that distinguishes the languages of the Kuki-Chin from the other languages, where we have something like pragmatically, or we have optional case marking of the what you call of the subject and the object. The most common form or ergative marker that is found in these languages is indicated by in or simply n. So this is uniformly the ergative marker across languages, as we show it in 1 to 2, with the help of a transitive verb bite, and also with the help of the intransitive verb angry in Syrian. So in Syrian, as you see here, the subject of the transitive verb, which is kaikongpa, is marked by na. And then the ngachang, the object is unmarked unless it is specific. When it is specific, then you can have a definitive marker here. But when it is not specific, then we have only the ergative marker here. Kaikongpa in ngachang patil epet a. So jam kita like tak. So kaikongpa bit ngachang pas the testicle while he was sharpening his knife. So as we are all familiar with ergative languages, the subject gets ergative marking. If you compare 1 with 2, what you find is that in 2, the verb angry, thanglom. Thanglom is an intransitive verb. And as a result,
usually
hello?
from...
Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah,
We
please
can
go.
hear you. We can hear you. Yeah.
You mute all other participants because we get lots of noises around. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
The subject of the verb angry is marked 0. So there is no ergative marker, which is characteristic of absolutive absolute case marking. Now, what can come between the ergative marker, between the subject and the ergative marker? So only one grammatical category can intertwine, can be, or rather, the subject and the ergative marker can be intertwined by what the determiner or the definitive marker. So between the ergative marker, the subject and the ergative marker, only the definitive determiner can come in. So this is exemplified in sentence 3. So here is apui nga nu ha han arul nu hai kola hai mo in la she atia. So here apui nga nu, this is the subject and this is the ergative marker, and between the ergative and the subject apui nga nu, so what can come here is the definitive determiner ka. So this is something which is quite consistent in the text. So other elements have not been noticed, and the definitive marker usually can come there when it is definitive. Next, we move on to the next category, which is commonly found in the text, that is determiners. So we segregate determiners into two. The first type is what we call topic or focus marker, and the other which we call demonstrative. So both demonstrative or the focus marker generally go into the general name determiners. And the focus marker or a topic or a focus marker occurs with a noun or agent or patient when it is the topic or theme of a sentence. So when it is the theme, semantically it is the focus marker. This is semantically. But when it is not the focus marker, then we have what we usually have is the dative or the demonstrative marker here. So this is exemplified in sentence 4 and 5 from Sirem and Rankhor. So in Sirem, what we have is this, there are two types of determiner. One is proximate determiner and one is the distal determiner. So this is the proximate determiner. So thing long hai kha azuk say bura. He threw the wooden log near him. So this is the what you call, this is the proximate determiner, which is near to the speaker. Then what we find in Sirem is that the determiner, this one, the determiner can precede or follow the head noun. Or in this example, we have something like they are conjoined by this durational marker period. So khan mi hai kaum. So in the determiner, they have two determiners. They are determiner one determiner same, but it is in between. We have the halai. So these now demonstrative in determiner in Sirem in number 6, serial number 6. So dilang kitang hi bumrang hupui bi ani. So there was the determiner. And then what we have is again here with Ranglong example, where the determiner ha in 7 occurs before the subject noun ha. Ha nai ha. So we have split determiner ha nai ha. Ahong anjira chu araming rangam apu ani. So when that baby was born, they named him Rangam. So now we are with clause changing. So one of the features of Kuki-Chin languages in particular, and perhaps many of the Tibeto-Burman languages of the Himalaya, is their ability to join two or more clauses with the help of clause changing particle. The most common clause changing particle in the languages of the old Kuki of Barak Valley is there post verbal particle are or in, which is glossed as non-final particle. So in many of the texts, what is commonly observed is that one clause can be linked up to the another clause and clause and clause. And in fact, a whole text or story can be a single sentence linked up by these clause changing particles. And the most common one is are or in Siren. So here ngachang pa nikhat chem kitat a. So it means one day ngachang pa was sharpening a knife, and this a connects this clause, the first clause, with the next clause. And then here also kai kong pa in ngachang pa til apeda. So kai kong pa bit ngachang pa statistical while he was sharpening his knife. This is and then the next type of clause changing particle is ting, as we see in the 10 above. So kin cham hin nol in ting. So let me sharpen a knife each for you. Then the sentence continues. So this thing links up this clause with the next clause. So these you find throughout the text. So as I said, when we do text collection, we should be very careful of these close linking particles. These are close linking particles. And what is rampantly found is are and then in, and also we have ting. These are some of the close changing particles that prop up during the analysis of our text. Then other normally expected particle is what we call locative particles, which marks the location of a noun or in the text. So the most common ones are from Siren. We have the locative marker a. So this occurs post-verbally after the noun. So here side p in ba kakora aluda ka insu shit atia. So the elephant replied because the bird had entered his ear. So here a marks the location, the ear here. And a is quite consistent for many of these languages, for many of the Kukichin languages. A in Ranghol, and also here we have in Ranglong a, and even for Thado we have a. And the next type of particles, which I call adverbials, I group them under adverbials. So when I say adverbials, it can be quantifiers, mainly quantifiers and intensifiers. So these quantifiers and intensifiers are used to express the quantity in terms of quantifiers or intensity in the case of adverb. So we have quantifiers and intensifiers. So quantifier talks about the quantity of the noun, whereas the intensifier talks about the intensity with which an action is being carried out by the verb. So this is similar to quantifier is something intensifier is something similar to English adverb very kind of thing. So it's a very and something like that. So quantifier in Siren is tak. So we have here sa an chang sila humpi pa tho tam tak sa an. So they hand together and kiss the quantity, how much quantity was contained in the quantity that is described, and the quantity of the noun described. Okay, let us once again. Next, in 15, we also have in Ranghol tak. Anu ha dongmate irtheng tak ania. So this tak is the intensifier. It is not more a quantifier, it's a tak. So his mother was a virgin woman. So he was a very holy woman kind of thing. Tak, very. And then in Thado, we have here the intensifier bese. So here, ahile amachu agilkel bese a vezo talo. So the tiger was so hungry. So this bese describe how hungry was the tiger. So it describes the adverb hungry of the state in which the tiger was in that particular point of time. And in Ranglong, we have sabak. So sabak is similar to Thado Bese. So soining anu in Arheda Amalung Ana Sabak. So when Soining's mother heard about this news, she was deeply depressed. So sabak, it describes the intensity with which the mother was affected by her feeling. Then the next we go with aspect. So in the text, what is commonly found is we have a perfective aspect ta. This ta is uniform in all the languages under study. So the ta, which is the perfective marker, applies to Sirem, Rankol, and Thado. So these are exemplified in these sentences from 18 to 20. So in 18, we have here Kaikongpa rasik neita maga. So Kaikongpa having no reply remains silent. So this ta, the past tense, the perfective of the past tense marker ta, this is ta. So having no reply remains silent. So this marks the perfective action. Then in Rangkol also we have here ta. So nai avong ta a. So she conceived a baby. So the conceiving was already done. So it talks about the perfective tense. So she had already conceived a baby. Then in Thado we have also ta. So venke he aden jing ta he. So he kept on beating the Venke. So every day he would beat Venke. So he keeps on beating, or he kept. So the agent kept on beating the bird Venke. So that beating was already complete here. So ta, it marks the perfective marker. And then we have the future tense marker in Sirem. It is sik, and in Ranglong it is ni, and in Thado it is ding. So these are the aspectual marker that we find in these languages, and these future aspects occurs post-verbally in all the languages. So the example of the future aspect in Sirem is marked by sik. So Thoilingha ngambom hona sik lampi a ha azara. So Thoiling's younger sister slept on the road where Ngambom will be coming. So this marks where Ngambom, so will, so this marks sik marks the future marker where Ngambom will be coming. So sik. Then in Rangkol we have ni. Instead of sik we have ni. Next example is in 22. Ponrap hi nang ni peta no ni kung antipi hai ani. So they said that they will no longer pay tax to them. So ni marks the future marker. Then in Thado we have ding. So in place of so in Thado the future marker is ding. So anu in a inna chun saipi le pading ahi. So it would have been good had the mother told her at home. So this marks the ding. Then other grammatical category that we normally came across while analyzing the text is the nature of compound verbs. So many of the Kuki-Chin languages here, especially under study, and we have a compound verb. So compound verbs mean there are two verbs. One function as the main verbs and the other as a vector verb or something helping verbs. So here we have example from Sirem in 24. Ata enga sika thinglung sa in Thai check me. So they asked the wild hen why he scratched the red ant's heel. So in Thai, this is the main verb in Thai to scratch, and the chen, it gives us additional meaning. It helps the main verb. So the vector verb is the vector verb, this chen, scatter, the second verb. This is at times it can be obligatory, but the first one, the main verb, is always obligatory, and this can be optional. So in Thai check, so scratch, scatter. So we have this type of compound verbs from the text across the 4 languages under examination. Then in Rangkol also we have here Hong Doi. So Kan Bomrang Kupui Kha Ral in Ahung Doi Tak A. Bomrang village was attacked by the enemy. So come attack. So these are in a way they are both independent sort of verbs, but here they function as a compound verb. So come and attack, come attack. So this is an example of compound verbs in Rangkol. Then in Ranglong we have here Hong Angel. We have example like come born. So Hanai ha Ahong Zir a chu Araming Rangam Apu Una. When the baby was born, they named him Rangam. So in English, while we have born, so born is translated in this language as come born. Something like that, come born. So came and was born, something like that. Then in Thado also we have examples of compound verbs of the type cut and break. So we have here achapa in abanle bantan jo talo. So his son managed to cut it into pieces. So cut here and then tan. So cut break. So his son managed to cut the wood into pieces. And then other types of grammatical information that we gather from the gloss texts is directional marker. So directional markers are of at least 3 types, but 2 is commonly found. One is the what we call cislocative, which talks about movement towards the speaker, and the other is translocative, which talks about or which gives us the meaning of movement away from the speaker. So example of cislocative in Sirem is expressed by Han. So in Sirem, the cislocative, that means movement towards the speaker, is expressed by Han. Directional.
Yes,
so
yes, here.
We have 3 types of directional markers that we usually come across in the text. One is the cislocative, which talks about movement towards the speaker. The other translocative, which talks about movement away from the speaker, and some other geographical directional like downward is one that is found. But in the languages, I am very sure that even upward movement in terms of the topographical locations are also available in the language. So what we present here is those directional markers that are found in the text. So one is the cislocative Han. So kakitu han chal in lan. So there the speaker says that the speaker says, hold my spade, Hender, and he was trying to lift the lady in the story. So he says that hold my spade so that I can pull you or lift you up. So in the story, a lady was sleeping in pretending that the lover will help her get up from her slumber. So here Hans talks about that. So kakitu Han chal in lang. So the speaker said, hold my spade handle, then I will pull you up. So it talks about the direction towards the speaker. And in Thado, this also is expressed by hin. Here the context is that ama in zong alen cha chu hin kipo do in once hin kipo do in alen cha chun hin kipo do in. So the context is that in the story in 39, the mother was drowned in the river. So what happened was the daughter took her fishing net, and after prolonged struggle, at last the daughter was able to fish her mother out. So, and after fishing her mother out, so the story says that at last she brought out her mother with the help of her fishing net. So this hint talks about the direction in which the daughter drags her mother towards her side. So it's a hint. So this talks about directions toward the speaker. Then we have, as I said, translocative. Here, this talks about the topographical location of something. So in the story here, we have something like, in the next morning, in 30, when Rangam went, he saw water god before him. So in the morning when Rangam went, so where did he go? So perhaps Rangam went from a top hills to a downhill. So the river was located in the downhill, at the bottom of the hill. So that bottom, the direction of where the river, which lies at the bottom of the river, is indicated by something like something here, va. So va indicates that something that no, this is actually, yeah, this va can express that. Here also in Ranglong, this can be expressed by va, but in addition to that, va can also express movement away from the speaker. So in this case, in example 30, perhaps my first suggestion was not true. It talks about movement away from the speaker. So let us read this sentence. The next morning when Rangam went, she showed the water god before him. So azinga ha Rangam asele tui mapang hung misa avamu. So here, this vamu. So va talks about the location from which he showed the tiger. So the tiger in the story, the tiger was somewhere near the river. And when Rangam went there, he saw it afar off. So it is not near him, but he saw something afar off. So it talks about the distance between the speaker and where the tiger was. And in Thado, this is marked by Ga. So Ga also talks about movement away from the speaker. So the tiger told Thoche and call, and the tiger told Thoche, go and call.
We are not able to hear you, sir.
Are you able to hear me now?
Volume is low. Please increase the volume.
Hello, are you able to hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Then the other type of directional marker that I was trying to.
Sir, the volume is very low. It's very low.
Really?
Yeah, now it's again fine.
Hello?
Yeah, yes. Fine, it's fine.
So in 33, we have here, a tiger saw him from a far off distance. So Humpipa in cut in Ral put Azuk Mua. So here this talks about downward.
So the situation is that the tiger was standing on top of the hill, and this ngambom in the story, the ngambom was somewhere in the valley. So the direction from which the tiger show was from up to down. So when the direction is from up to down, then usually this is represented by suk. Number we have in number we have plural number. Plurality of the noun is expressed by hey, or it is expressed by hi. So the common plural forms are hey and hi. So let us quickly look. I have not given the example, so in order to save time, I have not given the example. So if you say cow, singular cow, or like something like boy, boys, we have hey will come, or in Rangkol hi will come, and in Thado ho will come. So this needs no explanation because we are quite familiar with number. And then another element which we are quite familiar and which we come across normally in elicited data also from the text are these negative markers. So the most common negative markers found in the text are the negative marker mak. Mak, this is used in declarative kind of sentences. Mainly you find in declarative sentence mak. And in Rangkol, no. No usually occurs in negative construction. And in Thadao, low is the normal, what is called the negative marker that occurs with declarative statements. Then one of the interesting marker, grammatical information that we get from the text is what we call evidential marker. So these languages have evidential marker. So evidential markers talk about the evidence with which the speaker makes a statement. So on what basis a speaker makes a statement? So a speaker normally makes a statement about something or the state of something based on the information that is at hand with him, or he can she or she can infer it from other people, from hearsay. So these are the types of evidential markers that we found in languages. So how is evidential marker? I'm not able to find many in other languages, but in Thado I found two types. One is the what you call the existential marker to exist. So So we have existential marker to be there, to be in Manipuri. Also we have existential marker. Most languages we have existential marker to be there, to stay, something like that. So that is what is an evidential marker here. So this existential marker, in a sense, serves as an evidential marker. So let us see in this example. Here in the English gloss, it says, hello, my upper neighbor, did you not see my son? So the context is that because stories have to be discussed in context. The story is that the mother or the parent lost while they were in the field, and after coming back home, their son or daughter disappeared. So they were looking for that son. So the mother or the parents of that lost child is speaking to the upper neighbor, the neighbor who lives on top of their house. And she says, hello, my upper neighbor, did you not see my son? So, or in other words, is my son at your home? Or do you have, so the reply could be either yes or no, but the question is intended in such a way that, is my child at your home? So it says, wo kain sate, kanao hi eimo, ati le. So they said, hello, my upper neighbor, is my child at your home? So they were suspecting. So they have some kind of suspicion that if the child is not there in the house, perhaps the nearest place where the child can be is at least in the neighbor's house, maybe towards the north or the south or the east or west. So immediately the speaker, the parents here, have some kind of intuitive belief that the child must be there in such and such location. Then the other type of evidential marker here is a type of evidence that the speaker gathered from a hearsay.
Sir, sorry to interject you, sir. Sir, can you bring your microphone nearer to your mouth, sir? Still, your volume is low.
I will try my best.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
the context,
better,
the context for na. So in addition to the existential verb we have another evidential marker that is na. So this na it can be inferred not from direct information that the speaker has, but from some kind of hearsay. So we hear the speaker hears something from other, and on the basis of that, the speaker is making a statement. So now this is the type we found in 45. So masanglaisin thochele venke ana one second there anakichu hon in ahile. So it says once upon a time Thoche and Venke fought over a piece of land. So how did the speaker know that once upon a time Thoche and Venke fought over a piece of land? So the speaker had that information based on past information or from the hearsay. So from a hearsay, the speaker have such information. So here na is a hearsay evidence marker. So this is a story which is old story, and the speaker says the speaker has some knowledge about the fight between Thoche and Venke over a piece of land. So that evidence he has is not from a direct evidence, but from a hearsay. And so this is na. It is represented by na. So in this, the same evidential marker, when it is used in imperative, then it is no more a sort of evidence marker anymore. So when the same evidential marker na is used in imperative construction as in 6, then this na is a sort of something like is a directive marker. So the speaker is directing or is requesting a person to do an action. So here in this sentence, here is a hona maino ana lo in lang ana hono. So here the sentence pluck the young pumpkin from the garden and cook it. So the context is that the mother and father were about to leave to a Zoom field. And before they left for a Zoom field, they instructed their daughter to do such and such thing. What is that thing? He said, you pluck the young pumpkin and then you cook it. So here the na here is giving you some kind of direction, directing the hearer. So the speaker directs it. So here it is a sort of what do you call the speaker is directing the hearer to do the work. So this is no more an evidential marker. So in imperative, in the same na which function as evidential marker, here it is used as a directive marker indicated by DRI. That means the mother said, "Huna maino." So plug the pumpkin in the garden, and what to do with the garden? You plug it and then you cook it. So there was a direct, giving some kind of direction of command there. Then we are with reflexive. So what happens with the reflexive? So when we look at the text, we found a lot of what you call verbal reflexive. So verbal reflexive semantically can be self-benefictive in the sense that the verbal reflexive, the verb is done for the benefit of the speaker, or it can be for the, it can be maleffective. The action is done to the detriment, for the detriment of the speaker. So this is what we found in the text. So in the example 46 here, the king had taken her. So alengpa chun akipui in akipui hitachu. That means the context is that the king went for a hunt with his soldier, and he saw a beautiful lady, Lencangho, in the context. And as soon as the king saw that beautiful lady, he took her to be his wife. So now that is that action for the benefit of the speaker is marked by key here. So the alengpa chun indicates that the action of taking that girl is for the benefit of the agent. Then in Sairem also we have nga changpa nikhat cham kitata. One day nga changpa was sharpening a knife. So the context is that nga changpa was sharpening a knife. He wanted to do something, some work, so he was sharpening the knife for himself. And that action of sharpening, which is expressed by tat, is for the benefit of the agent, the nga changpa. Then another type is that we have another the same key. That same key has various semantic meaning. Another semantic meaning of key is a detransitivizer marker. That means if you look at this example, it fell. That means the ring. It refers to the ring. It fell between the hole of a house. So here, ongwang ka a kili ha. So here that the context is that a ring, so a ring roll, and that ring fell into. So in the context is there in many of the cook kitchen houses are built by a wooden plank. So the wooden plank is around 5 feet above the ground, and these planks have what hole between there. And then in the story, what happens was that the child was taking a ring from her sister, the king's wife, and she was playing with the ring, and then that ring fell in between the hole of that wooden plank. So here there is no agent here. So the agent, nobody does the work. So the ring just fell it off on its own. So something like the door opens. Maybe external evidence could be the wind might have opened the door. Here also, the ring rolled on its own and then it fell. So it marks. That's why it marks. It functions as a detransitivizer. So there, the agent and other things are not involved. Then the other key, the same key function as a reciprocal marker. Here I have given example only from Tadau to make the point, but these are found in all the languages. So masang layin poche le venke gam ana kichu hone. The same example which we have taken. Once upon a time, poche and venke fought over a piece of land. So this key, the same key here, which was here in this case was detransitivizer, and in the other case it was a self-benefactive. So here it functions as a reciprocal marker. So gam anna kichu, they fought each other. So reciprocal are marked by each other. So they fought with each other. So this key signifies the reciprocity of the action between between the two participants or agents. Then we are nearing our end of our session. So one of the things that we find from the text, mainly from Kukichin text, from Thadau text. So though these are very similar languages, in terms of reduplication, we don't see much from other languages, but in Thadau we have found many what you call reduplication. This reduplication is a general term that it is used here. In particular, what is found is that these languages have a way of reduplicating their adverbs. So reduplication of adverbs term chiming. And Bhaskaran, they use chiming for tidim, tidim. And other language, the term, so the connection is, hello, and then let me read from there. The other term that is used is idiophone, okay? Idiophone. Is the presentation gone?
Yes, sir. We lost your presentation.
Gone again?
Yeah.
Hello, I'm sharing it again. Next time I should be very careful. I should rush to my center. I thought I can manage it from home. Is it coming now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, coming.
Okay. So the other term is used is for this term or for this phenomena of reduplicating adverbs is known as idiophone. So this is particularly used by Patton in his work for lie. And other people use the term expressive, used by Hartman for die. So let us see a few examples of reduplicative adverbs. The term that I prefer is idiophone. So I use it idiophone in the gloss. So ahile amazon amanzong anuvin chu. So the context is that since her mother had advised her in this manner. So here the speaker, the one who is narrating the story is trying to emphasize the manner in which the manner in which the advice was made. So the context is that the mother and father went to the field and they told their daughter, or they advised their daughter, do this, do that. So the speaker in the storyteller is saying is emphasizing the manner in which the parent had given advice to their daughter. So here, so this che is used in colloquial style. It is used to describe the adverbs, the manner in which or the manner of an action, or that is the adverb. And we have a host of this example in the text. I have also discussed it in my paper on word formation. Next is we have something like apa auding chu aban jile poi lap lamin. Apa uding chu aban jile poi lap lamin. So this lap discuss how blunt the knife was. And Che described how the advice was given. So lab. So the context is that the mother was sharpening the knife for his 7 children and also for the father. And they were supposed to have a competition in cutting a kind of rope. So the one who is able to cut the rope will emerge as the strongest. So in that context, the mother was sharpening a knife. And in the story, the storyteller was describing the manner in which the mother has badly sharpened the knife of his father. So when other children cut the rope, they were able to cut it immediately because the mother has sharpened their knife so well. But since the mother wanted their father to be defeated, what she does was she did not sharpen the knife. So there, the storyteller is saying that the knife which belongs to the father was so blunt. How blunt was the knife? It was lab. So it was not sharp at all. Kind of. So these are a few examples from Zaza, and the list are many. And we are not going to dig all these things. Liu. This is a colloquial. That's what Baskarau and Henderson talks about in Tidim. So it adds flavor to the language. So in English, you say that my knife is blunt. But in this language, you say my knife was blunt like this.
He's joining. Hello. Yes, sir. Yeah, we almost lost you for around 4 or 5 minutes, sir.
Okay, now actually I am done. So sorry. I am done with the talk.
Okay.
So we can go for any discussion now. So sorry for that.
So you can give the conclusion. You can continue without showing the screen also.
Yeah, for this thing. Let me do the conclusion. So duplicated
Yeah,
language
let's go now.
in order to what you call in order to what you call emphasize the manner in which an action was performed by the verb. So that was the last one that we discussed on what you call ideophones. So ideophone, and that was the last part that I discussed. So with that, we can end the talk.
Okay. Thank you very much to Dr. Pauthang Haokip for his wonderful talk on the grammatical informations that one can find from a gloss text, and he has compared 4 Kukichin languages. And we have seen so much of informations available in the clauses. So now the room is open for discussion. And I think in the chat box, firstly, there were few questions. The first question is from Bobita Sarangthem. Her question is, can you elaborate on compound verb in Thado?
Okay. Compound, as I said, compound verbs are very prominent in the text, not only from Thado, but also from other languages. So when I say compound verb, that is found in the text. So compound verbs means there are 2 verbs. Actually, there are 2 verbs in example 24. That other is some sort of helping verb that we call it as a vector verb. But what happens in some example from Thado that we found was something like, it's difficult to segregate which is the vector verb, which is not the vector verb. So if you talk about the compound verb like hong and come and born, so both lexically they are independent verbs. So the definition of compound vector may not work. So in a way we can have what you call the compound verbs where both the elements are from the lexical verbs and not from the vector verbs. So that is something that we found, because if you look at other example, we have ban is cut and also break. So literally, so we don't know which is the vector verb, but in what we all do, what we know about this compound verb is that neither of them can be dropped, at least from the text. So if you drop one of them, then you don't get the exact meaning intended. The intended meaning may not be there. So in a way, both are obligatory. That's what I would like to say about compound verbs. Yeah.
Okay. And then the next question is from Mosel Siel Sang Thel Kaling. And he mentions that if my is a pumpkin and no is young, what about young men? I think, yeah, what about young men? I think Mosel, Uncle Mosel, you can unmute yourself and you can ask the question if...
Yes. I just want to know whether the morpheme no, the word no is applicable to anything that is young, whether young man, young girl, or young pumpkin, or young banana, like that. No, is this no applicable in all aspect or not?
That is a very, very good question, and I'm really happy for asking me that question. So no apply. No means something. No is no applies with only with plant, some pumpkin, so tender pumpkin. Yes. It can occur also with animal, pig, tender pig or pig, young ones of pigs, and also dog, but not for human. We don't use it for humans. So it can occur with animate or inanimate, noun, but not human. So with animal, you can use it with fruits, with vegetable, you can use it, but not with human.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mosil. Then the next question is from our member, Bijen. Dr. Bijen, his question is, would...
that was not my question. It was forwarded question from DKB.
Oh, DKB. Yeah. Okay, so I think DKB is Dinkuru Bora, I think. So,
I don't know.
Yeah. Bijen, can you read out the question? I'm not able to...
Okay. Yeah, the question is like this, sir. Would you like to know? Yeah, he would like to know more on the perfect aspect and the past tense. And how do we differentiate one from another? And in the subsection of aspects, an example is given where the morpheme tak in Rangkol is marked as past tense. Does it refer the indifference of past tense and the with perfect aspect? So it's a bit long. Sir, are you getting the question, sir?
I'm more, getting question, Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Should I repeat the question again, or sir?
He wants to know the criteria. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
He wants to know the criteria of...
The question is clear to me. Am I audible now?
Somewhat.
Text, in the text that I discussed, it was talking about the perfective aspecta. So theoretical distinction of what is tense aspect is something that that has to be invoked here. But what I am trying to focus in this text is that these languages are what you call expect. These languages tend to have more tend to have aspects rather than tense. So that when I talk about the in the gloss, I gave it a simple PST, but it should be perfective. So whether the action was completed or not, if the even action is already completed, then all actions that are completed will take ta as its perfective marker. And if the sentence is to be carried out in future, then it will have the future marker that we talk about ding or sik or other future tense. Then if the tense is, if the action is ongoing, then we might have a progressive expectual marker. So these languages, in that way, they have expectual markers, then past. So now the question is, what is the distinction between what is a past event and what is a perfect event? So both talks about the action that has been already completed. The only distinction is that in English,
We have something like I go, when, gone. So these are example of past, present, and future. But in these languages, what we have is either an action was already completed. If it is completed, then the action is perfective. Perfective. If the action is going on, then it's progressive. The action is progressive. If the action is yet to be carried out, it has not been fully completed, then we talk about future tense. Thank you. Future aspect, yeah.
Yeah, I think Dr. Mimi has raised her hand, so you can unmute yourself and you can ask your question, madam.
Yes, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, 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 I
Yeah.
can hear.
Okay. Hi, Pauthang. That was a very good talk.
I,
Yeah. Okay. Now I
but
just have some observations and
yeah,
some maybe some suggestions or some data which
yeah.
could augment your talk from Tenidie. You had said that the determiner intervenes between the noun and the ergative marker. Yeah, and that is something which we find in Tenidie also. And in
Very good.
fact, a whole clause, like a relative clause, can come between the noun and the ergative marker.
Okay,
You
very
know,
good, very good.
and it is not only the determiner.
Okay.
Then another interesting thing which I observed was in your sentence 2. It was a compound sentence where you had something like John got angry and cut the tree, and the subject is is uh, is not carrying the ergative marker. Whereas this involves two clauses where one you have angry, which is an adjective, and the other one is cut the tree, which is a transitive verb. So it is interesting to see that even though the second clause is a transitive verb, you still have you still don't have the ergative. Whereas in Tenidie, one would normally have the ergative marker with the with the
Okay.
subject. You know.
Okay, very
Yeah.
interesting.
Then another Then another one is in your sentence 14. You had said under quantifiers or quantification or something like that. You there was one word tak, which you had glossed as a quantifier, but I think it is an intensifier, like in sentence 15. You know, because it says tam tak, and tam is many, and tak is the intensifier, like in sentence 15. But then
Very good, very
you were glossing it
Gloss it.
as the quantifier.
Yeah,
You know, maybe
yeah.
you could
Maybe, yeah.
have a look at it again.
Okay. There's a this.
I Yeah, because I know a bit of
Okay, good. Yeah.
Mizo, so that is why, you know, like this is where that is coming
Okay.
from.
Very good.
Then again, coming to your compound verbs, there was a question earlier on compound verbs. Now, I mean, maybe it's a difference in terminology, but then Malchukov, 2007, along with Haspelmatz and Comrie, they talked about these serial verbs, you know, and in Thai and Fongbe, and we do find a serial verbs in our languages also under the Denime group, where you have two lexical verbs, you know, like occurring together. So it looks like a case of of serial verbs to me. And another interesting thing which I found in Tenidie in your talk is your detransitivizer. You know, where your verbal reflexive is detransitivizing the verb. But in Tenidie, we have the verbal reciprocal, which is which has the detransitivizing effect.
Okay.
Now maybe I could suggest you had written it as the you had written your D as your DI, which looks like as if it is a ditransitivizer. That means it is making the verb into a ditransitive verb. So probably you could change it to DE, detransitivizer, you know.
Okay.
I mean, just a suggestion, because when I first saw that, I thought it was something which was making the verb into a ditransitive verb, you know. So these are just some observations which I would like to share. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mimi. And the next question is from Dr. Gugyongpo Gonmei, and his question is, since you are talking about compound verbs, what about verb serialization? Does Tado have this? So he's asking if
there's
Tado
the
has
point that Okay, that's the point that Mimi has raised now. So for the sake of what you call this text, glossing this text, I made them as a compound verb. So whether these should be called verb serialization, something that only after all this literature and other thing has been dug, I may not be in a fine position to determine whether these are the cases of verb serialization or others. Yeah.
Okay. The other participants can also unmute themselves and ask questions or leave the questions in the chat box. If there is any further question, you can unmute yourself and you can ask the questions.
Yes, Pauthang sir.
Yes.
You said that now is not applicable to human. So,
Yeah.
so in that place, for human, what is the term being used?
In human, you have to say, if you're talking about small baby, you say naucha or nauchen. You can say now is baby. And if you talk about the size or the diminutive aspect of the size of the baby or the age, then you use instead of no, you have to say naucha. This means a tender baby or a young baby, or you can say naucha, and one is yeah, the cha is usually used now cha. Yeah, we have to use now cha or now shen. Yeah, shen. I forgot it. Shen. We have to use either shen or we have to use either cha. Cha is small, diminutive. It's a diminutive marker. Is small. Yeah.
I was made to understand that the Golhang in Thadao is also something like refers to young.
Golhang is a bachelor. It talks about bachelor, but from the composition of the word Golhang, and that what do you call youth, and the meaning of youth or being young is not reflected from the words. So the words does not express anything about the youth, or something like the what we call the stage in which the young stage or the what do you call it, the adolescent kind of age is not expressed.
Okay. If there are no further questions, then may I request Dr. Bijen Kumar to kindly deliver his vote of thanks.
Okay. 1 second before he gives you vote of thanks. I'm so sorry. This normally don't happen. I've been giving some home lecture from my room. It seldom happens. Today somehow
I really don't know. So I was not able to fix those problems. And in the process, what happens? Well, even my what do you call my explanation got disrupted. So when so much of disturbance, even the flow of my presentation was totally disrupted, and I feel really sorry for that. And next time around,
It's okay, Pauthang.
So,
These things do
Yeah,
happen.
yeah, we understand that, sir.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
Right.
It so happens that today the Northeast has proved to be more effective in its internet connectivity than Delhi.
Really?
no, had I been in my office,
Yeah.
then the speed is much better. So I've been used to doing,
Yes.
I have my private connection, so I thought this also works. So
Yeah.
why go to the department alone? And then that's how it
Yeah. It's
we
okay.
landed up
It
in a
happens.
mess.
These things we understand. Yeah.
I'm
Anyway,
more
that was a really
angry.
wonderful talk, sir. Yeah.
I'm more angrier than you all are.
We are not angry. We are not angry. We are just
Okay,
sitting
we
at
had a
home and
nice
listening to your
talk.
talk.
But I was so
Yeah.
Well, no,
disappointed.
it's a good talk. No, no,
Yeah. It's a good
Uh,
talk. Yes.
It was
Thank you.
good. It was good. It was.
Mm.
Gonmai,
you.
do you have something to be shared with us?
No. It's all
Oh,
right. All
sorry.
right.
So, okay. Anyway, then
One more thing is that those suggestions have come in, and then I think those can be incorporated here. And we
Yeah.
did not say much about the tone here. So while this is more of a
Can here we go.
Yeah, we can't hear now.
yeah. So he was trying to share something on tone.
on our intuitive knowledge or whatever knowledge that we have. And depending on what knowledge we have, we ask the informant to give us data. And how much knowledge you have, that much of what you call feedback or data you will receive back. But one of the good points about working with text is that you don't know what kind of elements will prop up in the process. So text, these are when we talk, when we collect text, these are uncontrolled speech. Somebody is narrating a story, or it can be somebody is telling a story or anything. So these are uncontrolled speech. So in an uncontrolled speech, many grammatical what you call information may prop up, and these can be collaborated. I'm not saying that we should further collaborate with elicited information, and these we can use as tools to find out or as a means to frame our what you call elicited questions. And in that way, this will really help us. So in Northeast, I don't know about Mimi and other. Most of us still depend on the elicitation. We give some sentences and say, how do you say this? How do you say that? So that way, what you get is only limited kind of information. But when we examine text, then
Yeah, it's a
we get
completely different story
different
when you're
story.
dealing
Yeah.
with text. Yes.
And other thing that which took most of my time while analyzing this text is that at towards the end, somehow I was requested to mark the tone, and then which I did not do initially. That becomes a nightmare. And
Yes.
the question is, unless we mark the tone, we don't know, because the tone can leads to differences in grammatical category, or it can give us many semantic differences in meaning. Many things are there, or even it can convey syntactical differences. So tone
Yeah,
was
so
something.
when you're if you happen to work on the tone,
Mhm,
Pauthang,
mhm.
maybe what you could also try to see is that when the verb is getting detransitivized, is uh, is there a tonal change in the verb or not? That will be an interesting thing to
That
look out for.
yeah,
Mm.
that.
Mm.
So tonal aspect is one that we have to really observe. That's a
Your
good
voice is
suggestion.
going again.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
hope the audience got any talk you won't get all that we desire. I hope thing has gone into you, and that's if we have to say something about this talk.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm done,
Okay,
Vijay.
thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing that additional information again. That is very important to us also. Anyway, thank you, Chair Lady Dr. Monali Longmalai, for giving me this opportunity. So I, on behalf of the Tivlanai, would like to thank Dr. Pauthang Haokip for delivering this wonderful, insightful, and very informative presentation. We are very thankful to you. And I also would like to thank our participants who were actively engaged during the session. Uncle Mosel Sasangtel Kaling, who is the only native community linguist among us, and Dr. Mimi, Dr. Bhavita, and DKB, I do not know the long form, maybe Dinkur Borwa, maybe, and others who were engaged during the Q&A session. So it was a wonderful session to have you all in this second talk, weekly talk series of the Tivnalai. So we do hope that you will join again us on the next week. We expect the same crowd, and we do apologize from the speakers, and also there was some technical hiccup in between the presentation. So sometimes these things happens with us, so there's no control over it. So I do apologize for that on behalf of the speakers as well as from the Tivnalai. So thank you very much for joining us on this wonderful session. So with this note, I think we can close today's session.
Thank you to all. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.